Are you ready?
That I am.
You know what I'm saying? That I am. But are you Sam and I am and I don't know. How does that one go? I don't remember. John Peckman. That's me. John Peckman Podcast. That's this. Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. That's where we are. Beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, pull a Yui. Park in front of the music store with the red neon light. Park in the, well, not in the street, but, you know, in the allotted parking lots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah, you did do it. You can have your very own podcast here in our beautiful studio. Dave will tell you how. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell people you want to be friends. People you don't want to be friends with. Tell your pets, your plants. Tell everybody. Your neighbors. Whatever. I think that covers it, right?
I think so.
Charlie Fisher is here. That's you.
Yeah, that's me.
All right. Well, thanks for coming. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a nice drive.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Why? Where did you come from today? I don't remember.
Mystic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
That's unfortunate.
no.
I'm sorry.
Not. It was an easy ride.
Oh, good. Okay. That's important. That's what's important. So Charlie is has been around. Sorry, no offense.
Yeah. Well.
Been around, in more ways than one, I guess. Is there more than one way to be around?
Yeah, well, we're a man of many hats.
That's right. But you, singer of songs, player of guitar, out there doing it still. You're doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it still. Yeah.
As long as they'll let me do it, I'm doing it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I met you, working with Jim Chapdelaine back in the day. I heard about the legendary Dancing with Henry, but that was either before my time or I don't know where I was. When was that, primarily?
With Dancing with Henry was started in '76 with a couple other guys, Pete Hunter and Don Legis Sinclair, and then in around 1978 we kind of broke up, and at the same time Mike DeLisa decided that he thought it'd be a good idea to continue, and Jim was part of that, of course, thank God. And
so the heyday, I guess, with you three, you, Mike, and Jim, was kind of when?
Well, I was in the band with them from, I think it was late '77 until around maybe '85 or '86.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that was before my time.
Yeah.
No offense.
No. None taken.
Okay. Yeah.
And just, it was a really good, fun bar band.
Yeah.
And we got pretty lucky.
Yeah.
But Jim, of course, was a huge part of that. And Michael, the showman extraordinaire.
Yeah.
So it was a good mix. And so we got to do that for quite a while, and they kept doing it for a little while after I left.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But
Dave Costa took my place, and then J.B. Batter took Dave's place.
Yeah.
And then I played with Dave for 20 years after that. So.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, that's funny. I guess you would say, would you? Well, probably whoever else was in the band would not say this, but you, Jim, and Mike, that was the heyday, right?
No, yeah.
You would say that was
there was no question.
That's the one that everyone remembers.
Yeah, there's no question about that. It was we just had a pretty good chemistry and went as far as you can go with that sort of a band without being at each other's throats.
Sure.
So that was good.
No drummer.
No, we didn't have a drummer, although when we did the reunions in the early 2000s, as you know, because you were one of the drummers.
Right.
And there were...
just because Jim couldn't find a drum machine, probably, that he programmed. So he would program everything? Is that how it was?
Well, no, I think they both did. We didn't really use drum machines that much.
Yeah.
we recorded, believe it or not, we recorded drum machines onto cassette.
Really?
Yeah, we only did about maybe 2 or 3 songs at all with drums. At
Oh,
all.
okay.
It was
all
all
right,
the audience.
all right,
I mean,
all
the
right, I
audience
gotcha.
was meant to be our drummer, and
I see.
they were. I mean, they
Right.
just immediately took part.
Did it start as a non-drummer
Yeah.
thing?
The very early Dancing with Henry, before Jim and Mike, we had a drummer for probably a year or two, Brian Bosquet, who was also in a band called Silverado,
Okay.
and my brother-in-law's band.
Okay.
And but for the most part, it was a trio with no drums. The idea was to involve the audience, and they would be our drummer.
So by design.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was, back in Cape Cod, happy hours were pretty new, and guys that did that, Mike Sullivan and Doug Arioli, who I ended up playing with in Fish Heads, did the happy hour thing, and there were a lot of single guys that did it, and that precipitated involving the audience, and then we just took it a step further with it.
Right.
Trio with harmony, and
So it's not a band mentality. It's still a happy hour mentality,
yeah,
kind of.
it definitely was.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was a little, maybe it was a lot more musical than the average Cape Cod happy hour band.
Sure.
But
Sure.
it was it was by design to not have a drummer.
Why Cape Cod? How did that all?
Well, we used to play in Worcester in the winter, and up in ski country.
Okay.
And
Yeah, a lot of skiing in Worcester.
well,
Is there?
to Vermont? There probably is some.
Yeah.
But the Cape Cod happy hour, when summer ended, it had to go somewhere, and John Morgan took it to Vermont, and
Okay.
as a result, we ended up in Vermont some of the time. And,
Okay.
and then we would play one bar in each area. Like for Hartford, it was the Russian Lady, and then
Sure.
Sean Patrick's.
Yep,
and
I remember.
Lewis Street a little bit, but mostly Sean Patrick's. Then in Boston, we played at Copperfields and Kenmore Square.
Okay.
And then, anyway, the idea was not to overdo it in any one area, so
Right.
people would go to see us in that,
Right. Right.
and then we could make money and
Yeah. Right.
live in houses and
Yeah.
instead of under the bridge.
Right. Right. Sure. So just like a circuit of your own.
Yeah, it was really dictated by being able to make the money, and you could only make the money if you could draw a crowd every single time you played there, and
Right.
hundreds of people. So
Yeah.
it worked.
And what do you think the secret was?
I don't know. It was kind of a balance. The three of us had I was kind of a straight man, and Mike is a great entertainer, and Jim, well, Jim, he's just a very funny,
Yeah.
intelligent guy, and I ended up being a good straight man. Let's put
Yeah.
it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
They stuck me in the middle. I never could understand that, but
Kind of
anyway.
makes sense.
No, it really didn't. But it worked. It worked well.
Did it happen right away? Well,
Pretty much. When we got the three of us got together, it was really for a reason. I mean, there were people that asked. I think Mike had the real connection, and they said, "Well, why don't you do something a little more upbeat and with other people?" And so we had a place to go immediately.
Yeah.
And there was people
And
willing to
they
pay
were
the
ready.
money. Yeah,
So
they were.
You just show up.
And there were no other trios. Certainly, there were hardly any duos.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like now where you
Right.
can't swing a dead cat without hitting a duo or
Yeah, right.
There's a
I
few
see.
trios.
So that was the beginning, because I'm trying to think of like who are those dudes? Mac and Jamie, is that
Sean and Jamie.
Sean
yeah.
and Jamie? Okay.
Yeah. Well, Jamie's still.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know those guys.
Jamie's Junk Show is right.
Right.
He's fantastic.
So
he's always been great.
That's kind of.
And Sean is a great singer. He does.
Okay.
He's does religious music now.
Okay.
And he's all over the place. He lives in Nashville.
Oh wow. Okay.
And he's a talented guy, great singer.
And that they were kind of after you, more
They
or less.
were right. Well, actually, they were. Yeah, after Dancing with Henry.
But that's the path, kind of like
and then Dave and Charlie.
Right.
Dave and Charlie came after Dancing with Henry, and it was right side by side with Sean.
Are you
and
Dave
Jamie.
and Charlie?
Yeah.
Oh, you are.
Well, I'm not Dave and Charlie, but I'm Charlie.
Right. So you kind of
whether you like it or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind it.
It was that was terrific too.
Yeah. Right.
Dave is still playing.
Wow.
And,
Who's Dave?
Dave Costa.
Okay.
Dave Costa has been at it longer than me, and
wow.
And he took my place in Dancing with Henry. That's why I mentioned him before.
Oh, right. So
they ushered me out and ushered Dave in.
Okay.
And that's how I met Dave.
Oh, okay. I see.
And then after Dancing with Henry hit
kind of like
skids.
being pals with your wife's new husband or something or whatever.
Sort of. It was.
I'm pals with my wife's ex.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah, I'm not. Funny. But I don't even know him. But
yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, and then you were able to kind of continue on with that, more or less, or
I did Dave and Charlie for from the late '80s.
Yeah.
Until 2001.
Wow. Okay.
2002.
Wow.
I even did it occasionally up until like 2010. I would do it once or twice a year.
Wow.
At the prison.
Whoa. Really?
Right here in Middletown, the Waiting Forensic Institute.
Oh, right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they'd bring us in there, and honest to God, it was something.
I used to do gigs at the Institute of Living. You ever do those gigs?
I never did one there.
I used to do gigs.
It can't be any different than.
Yeah.
Any worse than
no.
The Waiting Forensic Institute, where there were actual murderers, and it was, they loved it.
Sure.
Anyway, that was Dave and Charlie. So.
Oh wow, yeah, that's heavy.
After that, it was Fish Heads.
Okay.
Yeah, with Doug Arioli and Don Legis Sinclair.
Okay.
We did that 15 years.
Wow, you're just still stringing it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And milking it for all it was worth.
And now you're just you.
Now I'm just me.
You're you.
Me and all my friends. I realized that I really had made it when I realized that Bernard Purdy.
Oh, hey.
Had done this.
Yeah, sat right there.
I was going to say,
right
was
there.
he here?
He was.
Because that guy, obviously, one of the best ever.
Ever, period.
He's almost as good as you.
Well, what are you kidding me?
No.
He invented anything.
The shuffle.
Yeah, and that's the least of it. What I discovered, I mean, I feel like I'm above average in my encyclopedic knowledge of such things, and I thought I pretty much kind of knew most of what Bernard was about, but I did some kind of, deep dives, as people say. I did a lot more research before he came than normal. And I was really even surprised.
Oh,
he's a whole other things that we don't, like, we know the big ones, but I mean.
Well, he was in the 50s, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he played with everybody under the sun.
Everybody. I don't think there's anyone that he didn't play with.
There were hundreds of records that he was the drummer
I couldn't believe
that
it.
were hits.
Right.
Big hits.
I couldn't even, it didn't even occur to me. Like I said, we all know the big ones that are in our world, but then when you really go back, just as a matter of fact, it's just like, "What a Wonderful World" by Louis Armstrong.
Yeah,
that's him.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
You must have had
you played with Moses. You know what I mean? It's like it's crazy. That's the least of it. But I was just like, whoa.
Well, those are obviously pretty special tunes, you know.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah.
I don't think there are any that he played on that not, you know, people that are certainly my age know all the tunes, and
right.
They don't have any idea that Bernard Purdie.
Well, like I say, when I had him on, I went down the list, you know, of just the ones to kind of like before we get started, just so everybody knows who's here.
Yeah, I remember.
It was crazy.
There were some that you mentioned during that episode that I had no idea.
Me neither. Yeah,
and I actually looked after I watched that episode.
Crazy.
And it was pretty enlightening.
Yeah.
That guy, the idea. How'd you get him?
Oh, do you know Alan Friedman?
No.
Alan Friedman. Great guitar. He's a guitar player, and his thing is he's the musician's accountant.
Oh, no
so
kidding.
he's like accountant to, you know, Bernard and Steve Lukather, and everybody goes to him. So he goes, I'll give you my client list someday. You can just go through it. They all owe me, you know, or whatever. And for whatever reason, Bernard was up here. He was here doing something else. He did a show. He did like a clinic up at Telefunken. And Alan's like, I can get him to come. And I'm like, you're kidding me. And the whole time I thought, this is never going to happen. Like, it's not going to happen, you know. But I was ready. And like an hour before, you know, Alan was going to bring him. And about an hour before, he goes, hey, I'm not able to, you know, because I'm waiting. I'm like, yep, here it comes. I see the text. He goes, I'm not able to bring him. But he's with his wife, and she's going to bring him, so he'll see you there. And I'm like, boom, showed up right on time.
Oh, how about that?
Ran up those stairs faster than you did.
Yeah, well, that's not hard to imagine.
And like, boom, just like that. So it was Alan Friedman. Let the record show. That's how that happened.
Well, that was pretty lucky.
And I might pull something. I might pull in. He doesn't owe me any favors, but he did say, you know, hey. So
how about the Percaros? Did he work with them too? I mean, because Steve Lukather.
Yeah.
Well, they're from around here. Right?
Yeah.
Stinky.
That's what they say. Yeah, definitely a connection.
Stinky Percaro, their dad.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right. Yep.
I thought that was a pretty good name.
Yep.
Why?
I don't know.
I can't even imagine.
I don't know.
We should ask Mike DeLisa, because I'll bet Mike probably knows.
Get him on the phone right now.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Why not?
He's probably asleep.
What did you? Oh, really?
7:00.
Oh, really? He's asleep already?
Okay. I bet he is. Although he was at dinner last night with me, and
oh boy,
coincidentally, and it was after 7. I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We were there till like 7:30.
Oh wow, it's
unbelievable.
It's 4:45, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, he goes to sleep that early.
I'm kidding to some extent.
Yeah. Yeah. You texted me at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I woke up at.
I didn't go to sleep yet. How about that?
Well, that's bizarre.
It's very bizarre. I'm still.
But I am a night person, and
yeah, me too.
The medicine that I take wakes me up in the middle of the night, and sometimes I have to get up for the obvious reasons.
Sure.
But so I just happened to see your message. Which is surprising. I didn't expect you to answer.
Well, we talk. I mean, you don't have to. Don't. I mean, you be whatever. Don't be falsely modest. But you were on the list from the beginning. Because to me, you're someone that should be here.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well, it's true. I mean, I kind of regret it now in this moment. But no,
not at
all. No, but yeah. And then I was just like, oh wait, let me hit Charlie up because we talked about this not too long ago. Yeah. So anyway, take us back to the beginning of how you got involved in music or anything like that. You want me to turn the camera away when you?
No, that's all right.
Okay, you don't care. Yeah.
Well, I've always, I've never really been schooled.
Okay. Yeah.
I happen to.
Would you like to be? Is it too late?
I think it's too late. It's pretty late.
Yeah.
As a kid, just sing along to the radio, and then maybe when I was 10, 12, 13, something like that.
Yeah.
Got a guitar and, had...
Parents not musical, so they didn't.
No.
Really?
My father
Okay.
played the piano a little bit, but it was really,
Yeah.
really almost at gunpoint.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knew like 2 songs,
Yeah, yeah.
By the Light of the Silvery Moon,
Sure.
and some other horrible song. And but I wanted to, with the Beatles certainly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody wanted to play the guitar, and that it didn't really end up like that, but
Wow.
but it was, that started it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
And grew up where?
in Farmington.
Okay. Yeah.
12 Farmstead Lane.
Okay.
And
Far out. Does it
and
still
then-
exist? Is it still there?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
it is. It is there. And then got an electric guitar when I was maybe 13, 14, and then that was too loud, so my mother bought me an acoustic guitar, and if I still had that acoustic guitar, it would be worth...
Right, we'd be doing this interview on a satellite somewhere.
It'd be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
So for the first acoustic guitar she bought me was a Martin D18.
Ooh.
And it was I had no idea how
Yeah,
nice
sure,
it was.
yeah.
The idiot that I was. But
Wow. Nobody knew.
yeah. And so anyway, I don't know why I'm getting into that.
What year was that? Let's see.
I wish I could tell you. I think it was probably when I was 14. So it was probably 1970, something like that.
Okay. 1970, Martin.
Yeah, D18, from LaSalle Music.
Wow. Hey,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Jeff Ehrlich, Jeff and Martha and Jean.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
$3,000, $4,000.
Yeah. Well,
That's
that's
okay.
that would have
Invoice me for $4,000 for doing this.
It was
Everything else.
beautiful guitar. I mean, I just
Yeah.
didn't know how nice it was. I'm sure anybody that might
We've
have
all
the
done that.
misfortune of tuning into this is going to be very interested to hear that.
We've all done that, though. I've had things that I'm just like, what did I probably just threw it out.
Yeah.
Like I had old
I had
drums
a
or
Princeton
something.
reverb too.
Right.
A really early one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Those are
Yeah, that Jack White would buy off you now for whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all done that. Yeah, you look back and you just go, man, where the hell is that thing? What did I even do with it? I probably threw it out because I got a better one from Sears or
boy.
whatever. Yeah, that's what I did. I had like vintage. Well, they weren't vintage then, but like old Ludwig drums that somebody at my dad's work, and I played those for a while, and then get drums from J.C. Penney, and they were better because they were new. We just threw out the old ones.
Yeah.
Just like,
good idea.
yeah, well, my parents didn't know. Nobody knew.
Silver tone guitar with the amp in the case.
Right, yeah.
I don't think I had one of those, but maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So there you are, acoustic guitaring it up.
Yeah, but then, that went away, and then I ended up with, some high school friends, and one of them that was in the early Dancing with Henry, Pete Hunter.
Okay.
He's also got a band called Driving Iris,
Okay.
and they're around. They're real good band.
Cool.
And I ended up with an SG Standard
Hey.
and a Bandmaster amp.
Ooh. Yeah.
It was really big.
Yeah.
I was loving that.
Yeah.
It was loud.
Yeah. You probably played Tommy the entire rock opera.
No, I wasn't really. I mean, I should have taken lessons, but
Oh, okay.
I was in the throes of ADD at that point, and didn't know it. So
Right. Yeah. There wasn't such a thing.
if I was medicated, then I'd probably be a lot better than I am now. But
Well,
anyway,
I actually, it's interesting that you say that, actually, because I think about that a lot. Our little tribe of musicians, whatever the hell we are, a lot of people that I know, I'm just like, we all have something wrong with us that maybe it would be diagnosed now, But I just
Well,
go,
I've been diagnosed.
Oh, okay.
I have ADD,
all right, okay.
big time.
Okay.
When I was 40, I found out, and
Really?
it was like flipping a switch
Oh, wow. Okay.
when I started the medicine, and
I see. Yeah.
it really helps.
Wow. Well, no, that's cool. I just think, like the whole bunch of us, we just figure, what the hell's wrong with us?
Well, some people, like people that go to see you play,
Yeah.
they're into the fact that you're like this.
Oh, yeah, good for them.
Well, I'm,
Glad they enjoy it.
Playing the Dancing with Henry gigs. Did we do more than one? I think we did.
Yeah, we
two
did
or three, but
yeah.
those were some of the high points of Dancing with Henry.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm sure Jim and Mike would agree.
I had fun. I mean, I thought
with
it was
Big
really
Al.
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
Big Al at Ultimate Billiards, which is now what, a truck
the
bar?
The truck bar.
My
They're starting to
daughter's
have
band
bands
plays
again.
there.
Right. So they have, they
American Honey.
Okay.
My
Shout
daughter's,
out.
my daughter. I call it my daughter's band, but
Okay. Yeah.
she's one of the 5 people in it.
So it's still, I saw that happen. So I live in Berlin now. I could walk to it was Ultimate Billiards then, and it was a band gig, place that would have bands. And I don't know what it was in the in-between, but yeah, it's called the Truck Bar now, and now they're starting to have bands on the weekends. So it's just like full circle. Like, okay. But yeah, I remember we did it was like a Dancing with Henry reunion.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to say it was 2007, but we did some in 2003. But
It was, you know why? Because my dad was there and he died in 2006. That's how I know.
Okay, so it was the
it was
2003 ones.
Yeah,
maybe.
Gotta be. Yeah.
And
sorry
to
no, it's all right.
One up.
No, I remembered just because.
Yeah.
And it was like, the gig at Ultimate Billiards, and it was gonna kind of be, a semi big deal anyway. It was like, okay, cool, we're gonna do the thing, and then Jim called during the day.
Yeah, and he had been recording with Al.
Yeah, and he goes, hey, I'm just giving you, because I'm, as we all are, but he also knows that not only am I a huge NRBQ fan, but you often have to remind me to be cool, because you don't know what you're going to get with me oftentimes.
Me too.
So he just said, look, I don't want to freak you out, just be cool, but I think Al's going to come to the gig, and, so just be on your toes. He'll probably do a couple of tunes. Oh, wow, great. So I'm like, okay, this is exciting. And I think I told my parents and a couple of people, so I had a little posse show up. Yeah, and he was there when I got there. Yeah. And he ended up doing the whole night with us.
Yeah, he did. And it was,
it's a big deal.
The high point of, one of the highest, if not the highest point of my musical career.
Me too.
I mean, it was, he was something.
Me too.
He still is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's written some unbelievable songs, and nobody wanted his music in Nashville when he first got there. And then he wrote a song for, I think it was Trisha Yearwood or somebody like that. Yeah. And it was a huge hit. And then everybody wanted his music. And now he just recently was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. I mean, he's in more than one. But he's in the Nashville one now, and he probably is in another one in Nashville too, for all I know. But he should have been in a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I don't know anything about the biz, but yeah, you'd think it would be a sure shot, but he probably thought it was. But
everybody that's had success in Nashville, particularly all the country people, a lot of them have done songs of his, and there's you look at his discography, and it's really, if you're a country music fan, certainly if you're more than 25 years old,
kind of like the Bernard Purdy thing. If I listed them off, you'd be like,
exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And that's after NRBQ. Can you imagine that? I mean,
way after.
Right. But
in fact, I think he left NRBQ. I'm sorry, I'm not talking in the microphone.
No, you are.
I think he left NRBQ, and maybe, I mean, I'm totally speculating, but it may have had something to do with the fact that he was starting to do a lot more writing for particular kind of in a certain niche, and he hit. I don't know how long it took. You should ask Jim that question because he knows, of course.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then it was, as soon as he had one hit, it was everybody wanted to hear his music. And
yeah, right.
It snowballed from there.
Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no, that was a pretty wild night. I think about it. You know, I would never be able to get this answer, but I think it's funny. I was so proud of myself. I thought, I mean, NRBQ, especially that classic lineup with him, is kind of, I was lucky enough. I have an older sister who, when NRBQ was at their peak of that lineup, she was in college. So she had, Yankee Stadium and Kick Me Hard. And she had the records in the house. So, because she was out on the scene and they were playing around a lot. That's kind of when they were at their peak.
They were.
Right? So when it was time for me to kind of, because I'm always trying to listen to something else. When I got through all my Kiss records or whatever, and I'm looking for like, okay, what's next? My big sister's cool. What does she listen to? And I would raid her record collection when she wasn't around. And I didn't know the difference between NRBQ and Crosby, Stills, and Nash. They were all things that I didn't know about, or Billy Joel.
And they were all in the same record collection, probably.
Yeah, because they were my sisters, you know. And so luckily, for just as fate would have it, it was right around the time that I started to kind of hit the drums seriously. Like I just was like searching for like, okay, let me see if I can actually do this. And I played to those records among other ones. Mm-hmm. And I thought that this is the way you're supposed to play drums forever.
Because of Tommy Ardolino.
And
he was one of the other Dancing with Henry drummers.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He did, I think he did 2 or 3 gigs with us, and the nicest guy ever.
Yeah, I bet.
But he was so painfully shy. Mm. He couldn't, we did one of the reunion gigs was at a Double Down Grill in Avon.
Yep.
And he was there, and during our one break, he was sitting on the floor behind his drums.
Wow.
He didn't want to come out into the crowd.
Wow.
And I said to him, Tommy, come on, have a drink. People want to talk to you. And his response was, why would anybody want to talk with me? And I couldn't believe it.
Because you're one of the greatest rock and roll drummers that ever lived.
Yeah, I think, was it Carl Perkins or somebody like John Lennon or somebody like that said he was the best rockabilly drummer on earth. And he really was. I mean, playing with him was unbelievable.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, he changed Dancing with Henry. I'll tell you that.
I can't even imagine.
But that was terrific fun. He was such a nice kid.
Yeah. I got lucky. Like I said, I just thought that's the way it was supposed to be. So
you learned the right from the right, yeah. Exactly.
Without knowing it, without really knowing it, I still would have chose that, knowing what I know now.
Yeah.
But when I look back on it, to this day, when anyone will ask me, which sometimes people ask you like, who's your favorite drummer, or who are some of your favorite drummers, and he's in my top 3, just like that. Without even thinking about it. It's like Ringo, Bunny Carlos from Cheap Trick, and Tommy, and that's it.
Yeah.
And there's
How
other
ones. Richie Hayward.
Sure. No, I would never.
I was always amazed by that guy.
I would never.
I saw Little Feat a half a dozen times with Lowell George. And,
whoa. Hey.
And that guy was really
for real.
I mean, in a totally different way.
But but no, he's like so in the longer list, he's in there for sure.
4 brains, you have that to some extent.
Well, whatever.
You do.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
But I was all proud of myself when we played with Al. I played any NRBQ songs that we did. I played them note for note and tried to cop the feel as much as I could.
I think that's half the reason. Jim said this to me,
But
too.
I don't think Al even noticed.
Well,
That's my point. As I go, can you imagine if
I think that the reason he stayed with us that particular night for the whole night was because of the fact that you were
really? I
Yeah,
never even
that-
thought about it.
No,
that way.
I remember. I think I'm almost positive I spoke
wow.
to Jim about it, but I spoke to somebody
Oh, that's
about
nice.
it, and he was feeling it because you were playing the songs.
Oh, I never even. I mean,
that-
he was cool. We didn't really interact much, so I didn't. Wow, that's really nice. To
No,
say.
that's
I never thought about
that. Was a thing. I mean, I can't believe you didn't know it. But anyway, I remember
Wow. Hey,
somebody
that's cool.
said that's the reason why he kept playing. I mean, it never occurred to me it was just great drumming and a guy that I've always admired, standing 10 feet away from me playing the guitar.
And I just always assumed that he would want to hear it the way Tommy played it.
I'm sure you were
Just
right,
because-
and
wow.
it certainly worked.
That's nice. I never even. You know what? Thanks. I never even thought about it like that.
Well, that was the reason I thought he stayed there.
I
Anyway,
guess you're
for
right. If
what
the
it's
drummer
worth.
was terrible, he probably would have been.
Oh, he would have been done
Yeah, yeah.
immediately.
Oh, I was waiting my whole life for that moment.
Well-
I just like, let's do this. It happened one other time. I played with him one other time, and it was cool. And he finally goes, "Where are you from?" And that was it. That I finally he
He's a-
noticed. I got on the radar for a second.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he's from. I'm from Wallingford, and I guess he doesn't have a favorable opinion of that town for reasons that I.
Who knows?
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh," and that was it. That was the end of that. But that was a big day.
You should have said Windsor.
I know.
I guess.
Well, I'm not gonna lie.
No.
But anyway, yeah, that happened, and then I think we did a couple more.
Yeah, we did. Did you play no, that was Tommy. So I was going to say there was one we did at the Bushnell that was kind of a private thing with Tommy.
Oh yeah, no.
And he pulled up, got his drums out of the car,
Yeah.
and he they had union people to move everything in. 'Cause
Oh, right,
we weren't
right.
allowed to do any of that.
Oh, cool.
And
That definitely wasn't. I wasn't on that gig.
no, of course not. But
would've
I'm
remembered
sorry,
that.
but you'll find this funny.
Yeah.
But so they got all his stuff in, and he came in and set his stuff up, and he had forgotten to turn his car off.
Oh boy.
So he left it out in the parking lot running for the whole gig
Oh.
because he didn't want to inconvenience anybody. And then when we went out at the end of the night, it was still running. I had to break into the car to get into it because he'd locked his keys in there while it was running. So, but he didn't want to bother anybody. And I was like, Tommy,
Wow.
you could have done it. We could have gotten the thing to shut off.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's true. Isn't this a great story?
Well,
This would be one of the highlights of your
no, that's
podcast
no,
history.
that is interesting. That's interesting
Yep.
to hear. I remember Jim saying that I don't know what's the word. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to disrespect. He's one of my favorite drummers in the world, but not the most high functioning person. Can we
Yeah,
put it
well,
that way?
he had
We're
his
all in the
issues.
crew.
Yeah,
we all have
believe me.
we all have our things. It's not as if I've never locked my keys in the car.
Oh,
as if I
God.
have my act together.
I did it at a gas pump right
right,
up the road in
right,
Middletown in the middle of winter. My car's running at the
Yeah.
pump. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done things like
Hello?
that. Plenty of-
Triple A?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank God I had my phone out of the car.
Oh,
Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
This isn't very musical.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Can you edit this stuff out?
No, there's no editing. It's just,
Oh, no. You have to edit this.
No, this is it. This is it.
Uh-huh.
We'll talk about music.
Yeah.
Talk about something that you want to get in. That you want to talk about.
I think I've covered all the high points in my
You think?
musical life. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything that you or anybody else would find particularly interesting. I guess I did play a half a dozen gigs with the Poussette Dart Band.
Oh, that's cool.
Now
Yeah.
Jim is doing that, of course.
Yep.
That was those were fun. I don't think John would look at those as his favorite half a dozen or more. I don't remember exactly how many gigs it was, but I played bass some, and
Oh.
John Troy was his bass player,
Okay.
who was an amazing, unbelievable singing bass player, which I wasn't. But it was fun to do that because that was music I knew. You know?
Sure.
John probably liked it because I didn't have to learn any harmony parts. I knew them.
Right.
All.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
No, well, that's
I'm done.
cool. Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah. And then what happened? His bass player came back or something?
No, he just moved on, and actual.
You wrecked him.
Yeah.
Bass players. He's like.
Well, yeah. No, he was. I was. I knew how to play the bass a little bit, and but singing and playing the bass are two different things, and I hadn't done it a whole hell of a lot, but I was all right. But I was not John Troy or any of the other guys that he's played with since. But
that's all right.
Well,
I didn't make the cut either. If you want to know, I did a gig or two, and he didn't.
With John,
I didn't get.
Well, Eric Parker's a pretty good drummer.
Yeah. So I'm not. Yeah. I think I was in the mix there for a minute, and then I wasn't. So don't feel bad. So.
No. Okay. Maybe we should start a band.
Yeah. Right.
The Deadbeat Losers.
Yeah. Right.
No,
yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, but not you. I mean, you should be somebody. You should be on the road with somebody.
Well, I don't.
Somebody great.
I don't really want to be honest with you. I mean, I would, but I don't know. I mean,
my life's pretty good the way it is.
Kinda. I mean, I kind of feel that way
at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I wouldn't, but it just didn't. I don't.
Well, you're young, so.
I'm young. Yeah, sure.
You are. You're young.
No, I'm not. Do you know how old I am?
I know you're a lot younger than me.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you should be. I mean, there
no.
any number of bands. I can't think of a band that I've seen that wouldn't be improved by having you as a drummer.
Hey, you heard it here first, kids.
Almost no bands.
Wow.
That wouldn't be better with you.
Damn.
Yeah.
I never thought about it.
That's the suck up part.
You don't have to. It's not necessary.
I'm not. I'm telling you the truth. I mean, I just always enjoyed listening to you.
Well, like what I always say when people say that, if they compliment my playing, especially on the gig, I just go, well, luckily it's only music. It's not. If it were brain surgery, you'd be like, why'd we call this guy?
Listen to Jim Gaffigan's thing about brain surgery.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, we won't get into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can never use that term. Well, it's not brain surgery.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because it's always brain surgery.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I promised I would tell the story.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, you mean...
Should I tell the story?
Oh, God.
I
wish you would.
I'm gonna, just so it's officially here. I don't know. So this is the thing that happened. So this is official for the John Peckman podcast. This is going to be the telling of the story. I don't know. This did happen, and I've told this story before. I don't know why it would have come up. But for some reason, you particularly found this story amusing.
Oh.
And you've referred to it, and I didn't even know that I told you about it.
I've told the story with my embellishments, but it doesn't matter.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Hold on. The camera just ran out. No, that's okay.
You smashed something.
No, I don't care. We need you, so I gotta.
You don't need me.
Well,
You've had plenty of me.
No. Is this secret? All right. Look, folks. If you might be looking at a still photo of
John Peckman.
Of Charlie. God knows I can't see that one. I can see that this one.
Oh, that's all right.
Ran out. So my apologies. I'm texting Dave, telling him that halfway through there might be a still of Charlie from
I
here
hope
on.
I'm not.
Okay, we only have 15 minutes.
I hope I'm not looking, with one of those things where one eye is closed and you're.
No, we can choose that. I'm just acknowledging. If anyone's watching this, I just want to acknowledge it at this time that I am aware that Charlie's camera ran out, but that's okay.
That's a good camera.
Yeah. But here's the story, and you've told other people that this happened.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's a funny story.
It's a famous story now.
I don't know how why I even told you in the first place. We're just talking about things that happened. So I was sure I was an 8 to the bar, so I thought I was a big shot. And driving back from a gig, and I was there we go. I don't know if it matters now, Dave. I'm not sure. But I saw this blink, and it said end. So I don't know if we're out. Dave is going to try and rectify the situation at this moment.
Uh-oh.
What is that?
Is that Tommy Ardolino playing that?
It might be. All right, this is getting nutty. We're just getting a little nutty right now. You want to just not care?
I don't. It doesn't.
Well, I can
We've seen plenty of me.
You go to what?
I can put a still picture.
That's what we already. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're gonna do that. All
Make
right.
sure it's a good picture.
Oh,
of me
it
at
will
least.
be. It'll be a portrait.
Yeah.
So there I was, coming home from a gig, going down Route 9, Rockstar. I got
I'm getting ready to head out, but I got all the computer stuff.
Okay.
I got the stereo cranked. I'm cruising down Route 9. I have to pee. I'm like, I'm not pulling over. This moment is too beautiful right now. Rocking and rolling, Mr. Rock and Roll. And I'm like, I don't want to pull over. And I look around and I see that there's I have a Dunkin' Donuts coffee cup with the lid. And I'm
big
like,
one.
Yeah, a big one. Yes. Deep too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could do this. I could do this. I'm going to see if I can.
While I'm driving.
I have cruise control. Yeah. So I put cruise control on. I managed to pee into this cup perfectly, right to the top. Perfect. Got the lid right to the top. Put the lid on. Perfect. I'm like, I got this. This is perfect. This is everything's fine.
I've accomplished what I want to accomplish.
Yeah, perfect. There's nothing.
No pulling over. The cops can't get me now.
Right. And here's where you realize that you should have stayed in school. Because I'm like, I don't know to this day. Now I know. Well, I know the hard way. But I'm like, what did you think was going to happen?
You didn't understand the physics.
Did not understand. So I was going like 80 miles an hour or whatever. And I rolled the window down and went to throw this Dunkin' Donuts cup full of piss out the window, thinking that it was going to go like a rock right past the wind stream. And I throw it, and it immediately goes and explodes in the car. I'm just going to say it. I piss in my mouth. I had big hair. It was. I look in the mirror. The mirror had pee on it. It's dripping down my hair. Everything exploded in the car. It was like, how do you like that, fella? How'd that work out for you? I just
nice work.
Yeah, just like, oh, okay, so that's what happened.
You're a germaphobe in my version of it.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, nah. Yeah. No, you can embellish. Yeah, no.
I already did.
I kind of got into it. To be honest, but I was like,
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's my
own. Open all
pee.
the windows and maybe it'll be dry by the time I get home.
And the thing is, I just played a private, and I had asparagus. No, I'm just kidding.
You gotta be lying.
Terrible. But there it is. That's the story. That is no. That is the
John
Peckman
piss story.
The famous John Peckman piss story.
And it is. I mean,
who else did you tell this to?
Oh God, I don't know.
There's some people. That's all they know about
special.
Me. Yeah.
Well, I'm not
It's
sure.
funny. It's funny.
Well, it was really funny when you.
It's funny when
told
it's
to
not
me
you. It's funny when it happens to someone else.
And I don't remember
Yeah,
why you told it to me.
Me neither.
But I remember laughing as hard as I've ever laughed, and
At my expense.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny. Even I saw the humor in the moment. I just was.
Well, what are you
going to
do? I mean, it's either cry or laugh.
It is funny.
Might as well.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Well, you're in the
funny.
tunnel in Boston when I tell this story.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. I was on Route 9.
Otherwise, you didn't really have to. You could have pulled over, but since
I
you were in the tunnel, you couldn't.
No. Listen.
That's why.
No, that's
Makes
not.
more sense.
No, actually, the way it actually happened is better because I'm too cool to pull over.
Yeah,
like I could have,
but
I was too into the moment.
Yeah.
Which is why it's funny.
Star with eight
that's
to the bar?
That's why it's funnier because it's just kind of like, you don't want to be pulled out of this.
Did you still have your tux on?
That's what I'm saying. How about a cup full of piss in your face? Is that going to bring you down to earth enough, Mister?
Yeah.
Don't even want to put pause.
Cool.
Yeah. But knowing, like what you're saying, I probably would have got out and locked the keys in the car with the car running or something.
Tommy Artolino.
So it wasn't the tunnel.
No, well, that
because that would have been like an excuse. You would have said, "Well, that's unfortunate. That's too bad that happened."
Well, when I tell the story,
but it's funny that I got what
you're
I deserved.
in the tunnel and you can't wait any longer, and then just as you're finishing up, the traffic opens up and you take off.
Oh,
so you decide to throw it out the window. I mean, that was the way I remembered it. But
it's got to be high speed.
Yeah, well, you get up to speed, and what are you going to do with it? That's the way I tell it.
Okay,
but anyway,
yeah, that works.
So you can add some of those facts, and this is going to be one of the greatest.
It actually is.
Yeah.
One of
the greatest of all
they drank
time.
in, thing ran out.
Yeah.
The John Peckman piss story, the whole thing.
It's all. It doesn't get any better than this.
You owe me one embarrassing story. It doesn't have to be as bad, but now you owe me one.
I know. I'll have to think.
No, now.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of one.
Because it's not
put
fair.
Me on the spot. I'm
because I revealed this story. Now people are now.
I can't remember. No, I don't know if I can think of one that's
not even close.
Well, I did. Excuse me. I did have a story where I was driving a van at the Misquamicut Club in Watch Hill, Rhode Island.
Yep.
And I was driving people. It was the 5th of July, and the day after 4th of July, my band Fishheads, I mentioned very much, but we had been playing at the party the night before, and so I was driving some people to the beach club from the golf club at the Misquamicut Club, and when I got to the beach club, this guy came up to me and he said, "Were you in that band last night?" And I said,
"Maybe."
Yeah, I was. He goes, "Well, this is a pretty good little band. I might be able to. I do some corporate booking, and I might be able to help you, get some gigs with that." And I don't know how many times I've heard that story.
Sure.
A lot of times, and he was talking, and then he said, "Oh, I'm getting a phone call, and it's Matt Damon." And so he shows me the phone.
Hey, Matty.
And it's Matt Damon, or at least it says Matt Damon on his phone.
Yeah.
So I said, and he goes, "Well, I got to take this call. It's Matt Damon." And I said to him, "Well, it works out great because the Queen of England is back at the golf club, and I've got to go give her a ride." So the next day, my boss said to me, "Charlie, how you doing?" He said, "So did you tell somebody yesterday at the beach club that you had the Queen of England at the golf club and you had to go get her?" And I go, "Oh God, what did I do now?" So it's the guy that I said that to is Ari Emanuel.
Oh my God!
Wow. Who at the time was the CEO of the William Morris Agency, the biggest entertainment agency on the planet.
And he's like, "You guys got a cute little band."
Yeah.
And you blew it by being a wise ass.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I got the Queen of England. Yeah. That's about as good as I can do. But yeah.
Yeah, that's
Charlie.
That's pretty good.
Good job.
He never booked.
No,
it.
he didn't. He wasn't. I gave him my card too, and he wasn't. I'm surprised he didn't call me immediately.
Wow.
Anyway, that's it. That's the best I can do.
That's pretty. That would do it.
Yeah.
It's
almost as good as the piss story.
Yeah, it's not a cup of piss in your face.
No, it might as well be.
All right.
Okay.
Real quick, you ready?
Yep.
5 favorite albums. Go.
The last record album by Little Feat. Songs in the Key of Life.
100%.
Let's see. another Little Feat record, Waiting for Columbus, the live album.
Yeah, of course.
Certainly.
Yep.
Jackson Browne, Late for the Sky.
Sure. Yeah.
And let's see, how about Still Crazy After All These Years, Paul Simon.
Why not? Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I like
That's
that.
5.
I like that. Yeah, that's good. Desert island food, something that you could eat. When you eat it, you go, I should have this every day.
Oh, Desert Island.
Food.
I don't know. How about
No, I don't get hung up on the
oh,
desert island.
crabs?
Oh, okay.
Crabs. Yes.
Really?
Tom
Any old
Hanks.
Okay. Oh, I get it. You're not taking it
I
seriously.
no,
That's fine.
I don't know. I like crab. If it's a desert island.
No,
many
favorite
choices?
food. Favorite food. Just put it that way.
It's sadly it's steak and lobster tails.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right. Can you name one show that you saw that changed your whole life in one shot?
I don't know. It must be Ed Sullivan with the Beatles, I guess.
Sure,
I don't know. I can't think of anything beyond that, unless it was the Watergate trial.
Well,
that was different.
Concert or music.
Yeah, musically speaking, it was certainly had to be that.
Yeah, I would think so. All right, that's cool. I don't know if I should tell because here's the story that I think about, and I don't know if I got it right. When you said Songs in the Key of Life, the Jim Chapdelaine story. He's probably going to be pissed that I told this story.
Which one?
But I remember he told me, I guess apparently this was back in the days when you had, how do I put this delicately? That you had liaisons to spare. So...
me?
No, everybody. The world was swinging. The world was swinging. And he said he...
Oh, I know what you're going to say. Is this the rich man's lawn?
No, but... no, but he said he was driving some hookup. I don't know how else to put it. I'm just going to say it. And he's driving her home thinking he's Mr. Smooth. Like this, he's good. He's bringing her back to his place. And he slips in Stevie Wonder to get in the mood. And, put it, and she's like, ew, I can't stand Stevie Wonder. Oh, I can't. Turned around, dropped her off, and still ended up not alone that night. Just like looked at his watch and said,
I still got time.
Terrible. But when you said Songs in the Key of Life, that's what I remembered. That Jim's just. Like, can you imagine? He literally
can tell you plenty of stories.
Yeah, don't.
I'm sure he could too.
Which rich man's lawn? Tell me that.
I can't. No, I
okay,
can't.
never mind. Let's leave it at that. All right.
Yeah, it's definitely not a story for John Peckman's podcast.
No. Yeah, me.
Ask Jim to tell you that story.
Okay. All right.
You'll love it.
All right. I bet I will.
You will.
Right. Never mind.
No.
I told my worst story, and that's fine.
That's it. Your life
This
is
is
over.
a family show.
As you know it, your life has changed. If anybody that really matters knows, your wife could be packing up right now.
Nah, that's fine.
As she finds out that you were covered with your own.
No, she knows.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why would she? You should tell her that. Like,
it's
immediately.
funny.
Before you marry me, honey.
Yeah. Just so you know, I've tasted my own urine.
I should tell you the story.
Yeah, I'm not. It's funny. I don't mind. The joke can be on me.
Me too.
It's funny.
That's why Dancing with Henry was successful because I didn't mind the joke being on me. It was a lot.
Yeah,
so.
I don't mind.
Seriously,
it's okay. Yeah, no, it was funny. I mean, it wasn't funny at the moment, but then it was funny. If I were really that upset about it, I wouldn't have told anybody.
No,
but
Well, now you've told 23
tens of people. Yeah.
Tens of dozens of people.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Over the next month.
Yep. All right. Well, you know what? We're going to get out of here.
All right, John.
I'm sorry that the camera ran out.
That's all right. It's lucky for the camera. And the folks that might be watching, hopefully it's a good picture of me that's a still. But there are very few of those.
You'll find your most handsome. We'll go through frame by frame.
I wish you would.
I will. I
Thanks.
will. We have a team. We have a dedicated team.
Good.
That will get the exact perfect. All right, I'm going to press the button. You ready?
I'm ready,
All right,
John.
you have any last words? Nothing else?
I know. Thank you for having me, John. I love you.
I love you, too. This is exactly what I tell people, though, in this moment. Picture yourself driving home right now and going, I should have talked about this is your last chance.
Yeah, I can't think of a thing that I haven't covered.
There you go. Me neither. I can't think of a thing that I haven't covered in urine. It's awful. This is really bad. John Peckman podcast just taking a turn for the worst right here. Right here.
Glad I could be part of it.
Yeah, man. Charlie Fisher was here. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come see us. Have your own podcast here. Dave will tell you how. All right, Charlie. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
It was my pleasure.
All right, you got it. Hey, see you later, kids. Drive safe. Be careful. That is all.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.